And I believe now creeping into this country too.
This is not a casual suggestion about social preferences. It is a fundamental psychological injunction that requires a staggering amount of self-honesty and energy. For whom or for what are you yearning when you seek to join a group, an organization, a school of thought, or a religious order? You crave belonging. You crave authority. You crave the promise of a collective, external salvation that will rescue you from the terrifying, unbearable fact of your own confusion, contradiction, and utter solitude. I must tell you immediately, the moment you join anything, you have committed an act of fundamental psychological treason against yourself. You have traded the immense, unconditioned energy of freedom for the miserable, comfortable hypnosis of slavery. You have preferred the known chains of tradition and belief to the unknown expanse of clarity and truth. Don't forget to leave us a like, subscribe for more content, and tell us in the comments. What topic would you most like to see us cover next? We are not talking about functional acts, such as joining a professional society, which are necessities for physical survival. We are investigating the psychological compulsion to join, the profound inner weakness that seeks solace, identity, and security in the collective image. This is the central, urgent inquiry. Why do you destroy your unique capacity for light by seeking leadership and adopting an external identity? The weakness of the follower, the lie of external security. The deepest, most profound reason you join anything is because you are scared, stiff, uncertain, and deeply afraid. You are so lost, confused, and lonely that you desperately seek safety, security, and the feeling that somebody is looking after you. This is the psychological mechanism of dependence, which you mistake for relationship and even call love. Fear creates the image. Out of your fear, you create a leader, a group, or a concept of God to provide the security you lack. Thought has created God, and then thought worshipped the image which thought itself has created, which is to worship oneself and call it God. This is the ultimate self-deception. Dependence leads to clinging. You cling to this group, this guru, or this ideology because it gives you comfort. It gives you a sense of being together, so you are not lost and not afraid to be alone. Clinging is slavery. This entire process is a state of slavery. We'd rather know the state of slavery than the state of freedom. The moment you depend on leaders, you become weak. This is a fact of psychology, not a moral judgment. The leader is just as confused as the follower, because they have embraced the vanity of authority. The ultimate irony is that you are seeking security in an entity, a group, a belief, a figure, that is itself a creation of fear and therefore utterly incapable of providing security. There is no psychological security in anything external. The realization that there is no psychological security is a tremendous thing to observe and realize, because then our whole activity changes. Do you know what it means? That's freedom. 2. The burden of propaganda, the destruction of your unique light. You need a mind that is capable to stand completely alone. The moment you join, you destroy the possibility of this radical solitude, this fierce integrity. Joining anything immediately introduces propaganda, beliefs, and the experiences of others into your delicate psychological field. You become burdened by these second-hand notions. The lie of enlightenment. Organizations, especially the religious kind, promise you nirvana, or God for $5, or give you some kind of talisman in the shape of words. But enlightenment doesn't come through a leader, through a teacher. It comes only through the direct, unmediated understanding of what is, which is in yourself, not running away from yourself. The burden of example. You look to Ramana Maharshi, to whatever gurus that you have had, and you try to follow their life. But their life has no value to you. You have your life to live, not their life. To follow their example is simply another form of escapism, another way of avoiding the terrible responsibility of your own chaos. Would you forget all these people? The theft of clarity. When you join, your awareness is no longer your own. You are being taught how to be aware or how to be attentive. But attention given under instruction is never total attention. It is merely a conformity to a system. The truth, that which cannot experience, it cannot be told to you, is lost because you are satisfied with the word. The word is not that, like the word tree is not the tree. 3. The escape from despair. The folly of hope and the easy trap. The psychological poison of joining manifests in the avoidance of what is. Groups give you hope, the hope of reaching something, of becoming something.
But what is hope? Hope is merely the shadow cast by despair. It is the escape from the terror of your current state. Despair comes only when there is no understanding of what is. You run from the despair, and that movement of running is what you call hope. This is the great deception. They give you the comfortable, convenient drug of hope, thereby preventing the necessary radical action of facing your sorrow. We must understand despair, not search out hope. When you look at your desperate loneliness, your fundamental uncertainty, your immense confusion, the fact of your inner slavery, with total attention in the understanding of what is, there is neither despair nor hope. There is only the sheer, unconditioned energy of the fact itself. This is why one has to ask the utmost of the mind, the impossible demand. Unless you ask the impossible, you fall into the trap of what is possible. The possible is the easiest, the convenient, the comfortable, which is the reason you join groups. The easy path is the trap. 4. The necessity of solitude. Walking through the jungle. To step out of the psychological trap of joining, you must realize the utter, stark fact. You are in a jungle, literally in a jungle, where you have to make your own way out. There is nobody to lead you. For this journey, you need vitality and vigor and strength. This strength is not found in belief in God or belief in goodness. Belief has no place where truth is concerned. The required action is the observation of what is going on in the psychological field, in its own field. This awareness must be without any distortion, without any choice, without any resentment, bitterness, explanation, or justification, just to observe. This is the discipline of learning. This radical self-reliance, this intense, non-reactive observation is the only path out of the jungle. If once you realize it in your heart, not just intellectually, then you are a man, a human being, free to walk straight. The total change is realizing that you are responsible entirely for yourself. Then you forget all the examples, the books, the gurus, everything, because you have got the necessary strength to go through. V. The ending of the book. The unconditioned life. The final step in this inquiry is the ending of the search itself. The moment you realize that enlightenment doesn't come through joining, through following, or through accumulation, the desperate craving to reach anything ceases. The mind that has stopped joining is a mind that is unconditioned. It stands alone, not burdened by propaganda. It is not a fragmented consciousness fighting itself. It is a mind that has found its own unique light, which is not dependent on the flickering flame of any external teacher or organization. That very love, that very light, that very state of clarity, free from vanity, arrogance, and selfishness, is sacred. That very love is God. The joining must cease, entirely and forever. The book of the self must be read alone. The unconditioned mind is the one that has ceased the movement of the self entirely.